Hi everyone. Welcome to our live stream. With me, I have Dishant,
Hi.
and my name is Abdul. I'm a content creator at Okteto. And Dishant is an AI and machine learning engineer at Huri and a Rasa Chatbot community member. And in this live stream, we'll be building a Rasa Chatbot in Okteto. We hope you do enjoy it. Dishant, do you want to introduce yourself? Give us a brief what we'll be building.
Sure. So, hello guys. I am Dishant, and also I'm running Droid City YouTube, and I'm currently AI and ML engineer at Hori. So, and also Rasa Hero. So, which is Rasa Hero is an exclusive tag which is given to most contributing member in Rasa. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dishant. So it's a live stream. We get to see you coding. We've seen a couple of your videos on Rasa. We have a blog post on how to do that in Okteto. We think Okteto is cool and could be a very good platform for developing chatbots. And so that's why we invited you over. So yes, you have the floor. You know, the viewers probably don't have an idea what Rasa is all about. I myself have just limited knowledge, but I think it's your place to give us a very good introduction, an idea, and then we can go straight to building.
Sure. So, let me first share my screen so I could start. Yeah. So, is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Could you please add it? Yeah. Now.
Good.
So, is it visible?
So would you like to zoom in a bit?
Yeah. Can you zoom in a view that it is visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So basically, whenever you want to start with the Rasa, first you have to create an environment. I'll recommend it to create an environment and then install Rasa. So I already created an environment and added Rasa in there. So basically, how to install Rasa is just pip install Rasa if you want the latest version. If you want a particular version in there, you can add double equals and then add the version you want to install. Okay, yeah. So it's quite it. And then after after installing Rasa, you can add the command Rasa in it to initialize the project. It will create a particular project in your directory which you are in. So I'm currently in Okteto Rasa MD bot. So if I do Rasa in it, it will start building the Rasa bot, a simple mood bot, which will answer few questions like are you happy, are you sad, or like that. So it takes some time to build. So right here, it asks me if I want to use. Let me just hide this. So it asks me to enter the path where the project has been created. So if I already entered, so yeah, it is, and then it is say asking me that it is not empty. So I have to say yes. Just add it, and it asks me to train the model. Yes, I want to train it.
Cool. So Dishant, when Rasa trains the model, what goes on behind the scenes? Is there anything we should know about training models? I've heard about models in machine learning, and I think but how does it work behind the scenes?
Sure. So if we see in the on the left hand side, there are a few files. In that there's config.yml file. So in here, everything is specified like which model to use, which white space tokenizer, like any tokenizer or featureizer to use. So they have currently used uh, that classifier for classifying all the intents. So basically, what is an intent? So whenever we are talking anything, there is some kind of intention behind it. So that's what intent is all about. And that classifier classifies all the intents present in our data with that is nlu.yml, and it extracts it, and whenever the user says something, says any kind of sentence or provides any kind of chat, it replies it as per the path we have provided inside a story. So let's say there is greet. At that moment, it the response will be utter great. So this is this is the way we are designing all the conversations one by one, like whenever this particular intent has been happened, you should respond this or respond this, like that. We are giving a particular scenarios to each and every intentions or conversations, we can say. And right here we can see while the training, it is using all the training pipeline models which we have provided, and also the tokenizers. And then there is policies. So what are policies? So the policies define how it will be training the model. So there is unexpected policy which has max history of 5. So what is max history? It understands the context whenever you're talking. So when we are currently talking, we are talking about Rasa, and it's how it is training. So this is what the context is. So whenever I'm talking to you, you are able to understand what the context is. So that's the particular thing we should the chatbot should also know. So that's why we are providing history and epochs. And there is also TED policy. This is the unexpected policy is currently experimental. So the if you want to keep it, you can keep it, or else you can delete it always. And then there is rule policy. So the rule policy means like whenever you provide some kind of let me take an example, by the way. So whenever there is intent as named as goodbye, so whenever the user says goodbye, the bot should also say goodbye, not like hi. So that's the reason why the rule policy comes in hand. The name itself provides the meaning to it, like this is the rule. Whenever this is particularly said, and you should say it like that, you should return a particular response. So now I think it has been trained, and we won't be talking to assistant right now. We'll be adding few changes in our assistant so that it could provide us a support whenever needed. So we are currently going to build a support assistant which will provide us a particular support to the user. Let's say if you have any query to any business, so whenever you say like I have this particular query, I want to talk with the support team, so the bot will capture your details and send it to the support team itself. So this is we are going to build. Yeah.
So before you continue, do I have to be maybe a machine learning expert or an AI expert to use Rasa? Looking that we have all these tokenizers, classifiers.
Yeah, if you want to customize this all things, yes, you need to know a few things about machine learning, NLP, like that. But if you are just going to create a some kind of a basic bot, then you just need Python knowledge and basic knowledge of YML and command prompt, like that. So basic understanding of programming is just needed for this. Okay, so right now,
Cool.
if we have a look at it, there we have to add a particular intent here, which will be triggered when the user is saying, let's say, I want to contact the support team. So this moment, it will be like intent support team. The intent should not contain space. The intent name should not contain space. So that's why I'm using underscore. And there inside that we are going to add examples. So inside this examples, it will consist of whatever things user might ask. So let's say user ask, I want to contact support team. Then support team, can you please connect me with your team? It's just make sure whenever you're adding any kind of examples, it needs to be enough for training the bot in a particular scenario. Like user might be playing with your bot, and the bot might get break if you haven't provided enough examples. So just to make sure, it needs to be around 5 to 10. So I'll add a few more. I just have few more examples in here.
So basically, Rasa trains your bot with the given example. So when it finds something similar with maybe in the conversation, it's able to like bring the same, maybe a response. If I say I want to ask a question to the team, then I know that maybe an intent is triggered, or how does it work?
Yeah, so whenever you ask anything from here, or you can combine any of this and create a particular sentence, then also it will be able to trigger it, and then it will reply a response from it. So how does this response work? Inside the domain, this is the universe of the bot, you can say, like everything which is going to happen inside the bot is present here. So inside the domain, first I have to add intent, which is support team, like this, and then inside the responses I have to provide a response for that particular intent. So let's say I can add a new response here named as utter support team. So in here, I'm going to add a text as we will contact you soon. Please wait for 24 to 48 hours. That, like this. So this is, we have created the responses for it. And now we have to provide a particular story. Like in the story, we have to provide a chunk of it. Like whenever the support team is been asked, it should respond utter support team. So in the intent, if we try adding support team and then action, inside the action it should be utterance or a particular action. I'll come back to the actions part later. Utter support team. So this way, whenever the user asks for any of this from the intent, it will reply this particular response, like this. And also Rasa also has image. So inside the image, you can provide a link to a particular image you have either on server or from Google itself. So you just have to provide a string of the image. And there are also a few buttons. You can definitely add a few buttons. The format for the buttons are provided like this. So you have to add title, no, then you have to provide inside a payload, like this. So this is how the buttons are looking like. I also have video about the buttons and the carousels and like that, so you can have a look at the Droid City channel to look at how buttons work and like that. And then if you look at, there are multiple things present here. There is also rules. So as I previously said while showing you config.yml, inside that we provided rule policy. So the rule policy has been used for this. So whenever we are providing a particular rule here, so when the user says goodbye, it should utter goodbye. Or user says bot challenge, like if the user asks like, are you a bot, are you a robot or chatbot, like that, it should provide a particular trends which is present in here. I'm a bot powered by Rasa, like that. So now inside our rules, we are also going to provide a particular rule for our support. So I'll add the name as support team. You can name anything it, but make sure to add a reasonable name so that whenever anyone is looking at it, they should know. Are there any comments? No. And just after that, we'll be deploying this onto a Okteto server. So for that, I think Abdul, we have to do Okteto init, right? First of all.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll do Okteto init. So while doing Okteto init, it will create a okteto.yml file. But first, it will going to ask me few, just a minute, few questions here. Why it is not okay? So there are JKL. I'll use the default values. Am I right? I don't have to use the other parts. Okay. So here on the left hand side, we can see this octeto.yml file which is created, and it has named the name as the folder name and then the images of Python. So now we have to change few things. First of all, we have to add docker file and docker compose file so we can create a particular image for Rasa. So to create a particular image, we'll first create a docker file. I know you all might be asking like why I shouldn't you why I can't use the Rasa image itself. Rasa image is also available on Docker, right? So in the Rasa image, what happens is you can't configure anything inside it. It's just a basic image. You can use it for a simple bot if you want to create. But if you want to add
Mhm.
any other dependencies, you can't add it. So for that, I'll be using my own image, which is of Python stretch. So I'll
Mhm.
just copy the name from it, just like this. And for Python itself, we have to add few of the packages which is needed for installing Python, for running the Python, and for making it capable of running all these things. So I already have it copied right here. So I'll explain it to you what it is. So we are going to run this. First, we are all since this is a Linux machine, we always do a first update, and then we install all the things which is required: curl, git, then vim, lib, etc., etc. All the things which is needed here, and then we are providing a work directory inside slash app, just like this. This will be the place where all the things from a bot will be copied and pasted there. So then we have to run pip install -u. Yep. So we are going to install pip. We are going to upgrade pip. So I'm using -u. You can also use double dash upgrade, just like this. And just to make sure that there is no cache involved, we are going to add a no cache flag in here. So this way there will be no cache in here. So yeah, and it. And then this is the place where we are going to install Rasa. This is the particular line where we are running the Rasa installation. But if you have any kind of requirement.txt or any any file which is consisting of all the dependency, you should uh, you should run that instead of Rasa. So that will help you to install all the dependency in your project itself. And then just after that, we are going to add all the things which is not actually going to be changed quite a while. So in here, if we see, there are a few files which I haven't talked about. So there's credentials.yml. So what does credentials.yml consist of? This is the place where you provide all the integrations and their credentials. So if you want to connect with the rest, you don't need any kind of credentials unless and until you have created your own custom channel which needs the credentials. Then there is Facebook, Slack, Socket.io, and Mattermost, like that. So this all things need some kind of credentials. And right here in the Socket.io, I'll be coming back in the later of this live stream and talking about how you can connect it with the website. So yeah. And then there is endpoints. So inside the endpoints, there is model. If you have a particular model server running separately, like what is a model server? So if you have looked at on the left hand side, whenever you create a Rasa project, there is a model after training it. So in here, this is the complete model which has NLU and core. So what does NLU contain and what does the core content? So NLU contains all the training data which we are currently providing, which is NLU YML, then there is rule, then there is stories, like that. These are NLU part. This is the data on which the bot has been trained. But in the core part, it consists of domain. Then there is endpoints, like that. So this all things contain in the core. So the core is different and the model is different. So whenever you are creating a separate model which has NLU server itself, you can use it right here. And there is wait time between pools, so you can add the delays. And then there is action endpoint. So in the action endpoints, it consists of action server. I'll come back to that later, how we are going to use the action server with Octeto and what is the use of it. So this is the URL where it will be always trying to call and fetch the results out. And here is the tracker store. So what does tracker store contain of? This is the database where every conversation will be stored, or I can say like every action happening in the bot will be stored, because not just conversation, but there will be predictions, then there will be result of that particular prediction will be stored. So like that. And there is event broker. This all things you can check out on Rasa docs. There is plenty of things, plenty of knowledge present in there. So they have also created video on actions than tracker store, like that. So you can also check out their channel for it. So let's get back to Docker file, and here use the add to add credentials .yml. This is the least what you can say, a least used file or updated file, because in the credentials once you add it, you don't change anything except the credentials are being changed. So right here, I'm sure if the spelling is correct. Yeah. Then there will be endpoints, adding config.yml. So I'm basically adding them in an order that as per their changes. So domain is been changed quite a while when you're adding some responses or you're adding few actions in there or slots, like that. Yeah, so our Docker file is ready, and now we have to create a Docker compose file, the compose.yml. So right here I'll be using version as 3.4. You can use any version you want to, and you can use the latest version also. And there I'll be adding services. So inside the services, we are going to add two services. The two services will consist of, one is Rasa and second is Rasa actions. So let me add Rasa first. So inside the Rasa, I'll be adding image. Image will be Rasa Okteto latest. I think am I right with the name? Just a minute. Okay, so yeah, right here I'll add Rasa server Okteto so that it is able to detect it and add it. And then the build, this build will consist of dot slash, which is the root folder in here, and everything will be present in there. And there will be volumes. So what does volume contain? So volumes are the place where we are going to add data. All the things which is present in here, we already added few of the files directly inside our Docker file, my Docker file. But in the Docker Compose, it will create a volumes for all the data we are going to add, all the folders we are going to add here. So right here, I'll be adding dot slash data into app slash data. Abdul, am I correct writing this? We should write it in the Docker Compose like that, right?
Okay, supports Docker Compose fully. So if you're familiar with Docker Compose syntax, you don't have any issues deploying or developing your application in Okteto.
I am actually familiar with Docker Compose, so just just to verify, like I might not writing anything wrong.
Yeah, it's a live stream. Mistakes are allowed, and that's why we're learning together.
Yeah. So in the commands, we are going to add a particular command which will not only train the bot or run the server, but it will also be deleting all the things which is present after training. So yeah, right here, if you see on the left hand side in the new Rasa version, if you are using the 3.0 or 3.0.x something, so there will be cache. Whenever there is training happening, it creates a cache of it, so that whenever the next time you train the bot, it is quickly training it. So this actually takes a lot of memory when you have a lot of training or have a lot of NLU data whenever. So what I'm going to do here is I'll be deleting this particular folder whenever a new training is starting. I know this will take a lot of time to train if it is quite a quite a large bot. So I'm keeping it on you guys. If you want to add this delete command, you can add, or else you can skip it. So I'm doing
I think I
rm.
think I think deleting the trained ones is going to like give us more space on the disk. What do you think?
Um, it depends actually. Currently, we are going to build a basic bot, but in the industry, people build a huge bot. So there is like optimization. They need to have some kind of optimization
Yes.
always. So because of that, Rasa created a solution to create a cache. But if there are quite a lot of time, like when you are doing a training like 2 to 3 times for a huge bot, it will it will use quite a large disk space. So that will create an issue when you are on a server, because every time you train it, it will,
Yeah.
let's say, around 330 MB or around more than that. This is just I'm saying, like, assuming this might happen because
Yeah.
let's say you train it for 5 times, it will take 120 MB itself. So that's
Well,
that's not good for the server, right? Because you have
yep.
a lot of money to spend on the server.
Spend.
Yeah. So I'll first delete this one, and then we will start the Rasa train. Let me add and command Rasa train, and then there will be Rasa run enable API. Uh, if you really want to use the socket IO channel, you can use this command, or else you can use the other command, which is just Rasa run. That will do the work. So now I'm going to use cross origin, which is you can accept all the cross origin paths. So I'll use slashes so that it is able to recognize. I think, am I right with the command? Yes, I'm correct. And then there'll be we have to provide a working directory so it is able to recognize where to go. Yes, working directory. Why is my keyboard hanging? And then in the default one, like while it is running on a default server, it is using 5005. So for Okteto, we can't use 5005 because it has been used by Java debugger. We will be using 5006 server, actually port. So yeah, and then I'll be providing networks. I'll be providing all tag. I'll be adding the all tag details afterwards, and then we'll be just duplicating this. So I'll just copy and paste it. Make sure to indent it properly, and then this will be Rasa actions. This will also be using Rasa server image, and right here we don't need this test or data, we just need actions. So this is the place where all the Python code is been present. for actions. If you have any kind of utilities or anything present in the folder, in a separate folder, in separate directory, which is outside of actions, you can definitely add it right inside the volumes. So yeah, so for this particular actions server, we need to add Rasa actions, Rasa run actions, just like this, and it will be running on 5055 server. So we'll be using that because that is not blocked by Okteto. Am I correct, Abdul? It works. And then adding all tag. So what is all tag about? So basically we are going to use the driver as bridge, so that all the services which are currently running right here is able to connect with each other. Let me just, so everything which is running right here is able to talk with each other, so that whenever Rasa server want to call action server, it is able to call it on 5005 5055 actually. So this way it will bridge it. And also we are going to add driver ops, which is going to be com.docker.network enable basics. Okay, so the network is all and bridge. So this way we have completed the adding of Docker Compose, and now inside the Okteto YML we have to provide this particular image so it doesn't get mistaken with the other images present from the Okteto right here. So
So remember,
this is
you could append octo.dev forward slash the image. So Octo
okay.
recognizes that, oh, it's from his registry. Since it's not public, we're not building to public to Docker Hub publicly, so we want to make sure it's accessible.
Okay, and right here it says it will forward me on 8080 port. So is there any possibility that I could run it on other port also, which
Sure.
is 5005 or 5006? How to do
Yes,
that?
please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes. You can do that. Would you like to forward to another port?
Okay, so how to do that? Actually, I just have to change it.
Yes, I think that should work. Let's give it a
Okay,
try.
let's try
Mm.
5006 right here. Okay. So now I just have to do Okteto up double dash build. So it will start building and deploy it. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you run this command, what it does is first this command is to open a new development environment and also build the image. Since we're going to use an image um, from Docker file which we have in Dishant's working directory. So the first thing we want to do is build the image. So we have it in our registry. And so when we run Okteto up, finally it is able to pull the image from the registry and set up our workspace. How long do you think this will take, Dishant?
Um, it shouldn't take much time. I think it will be done around 2 minutes because it is quite faster than actually in the local system. Because in the local we try to run it, it takes a lot of time to install all things. So it is quite faster. And also I have used it quite a while. Like I'm currently running it for a snap sticker API which is publicly available. So it is a snapkits sticker API. I am
Oh,
running
cool.
it. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite feature about the dev environment is the fact that apart from being able to check my changes. I can see them load in real time. I can also share, the public endpoint to other people so they can check and see. I think that's an amazing feature. If you agree with me.
Yeah, definitely. Because I tried it. I was trying it a lot for creating tutorials and helping communities. So at that moment, I thought to use the developer environment also while building the bots. So if I want to, I tried it at the moment like I want to create a customer care bot. At that moment, I use the developer environment and I changed it from here, from the remote part, and it was reflected in there on the Okteto server. So that was quite good, and it had integration with the ID, so that's quite good for me.
That's true.
And in real time, I can change and check, and everything is been testing or not. And also, I can give it to my friends to test the bot if it's working or not.
I think it's one way to get feedback before pushing to production. What do you
Obviously,
think?
obviously in the organization we work for, there's like too many branches. We are working on every branches and we are giving it for testing out. So yeah, we at the moment we have to provide from a local server using ngrok, but while using Okteto we can provide the link directly from the dev environment to them and they can test it on their end.
Unlike ngrok, you need to keep your server live on your machine, but with Octeto, once it's deployed, you have
Yeah,
it up and running every time.
I'll also give it right now once it is deployed so everyone in the stream can test it out.
Amazing.
Yeah, it will take a few time because it will also be training it, I think so.
Exactly.
Will it
Yep.
train? Okay,
I think I'm not sure. I think we're almost set. It's exporting the layers, and I think we should be done any moment.
great. Can we check it on dashboard?
Yes, exactly. You can see your dev environment. Can you check if you're on the right namespace?
Sorry.
So, um, can you check if you're on the right namespace? I think before it shows on your dashboard, the image has to be
uh,
built first. So once the image is built, it will reflect on your dashboard. Let's give it a minute.
yeah, it will take some time because it hasn't exported the image. It is currently exporting the layer.
Yep.
In the chat, if everybody is listening, if you anyone have doubt of any kind, you can definitely ask us in the comment section, so we'll answer them.
Exactly. And if you've been watching, we have some swags to give you. So you could send a message to Okteto's handle. That's at Okteto HQ on Twitter. And we'll have some swag shipped to you. I think we're almost done pushing the layers.
Yes, it is pushing it.
Mm. Ah, we can see our development container is starting up.
Yeah, I think it will show up in dashboard. Yes, it is showing me on dashboard.
Now we
The
have
dev environment has been
the
started.
environments. Exactly. Okay, I think
Sorry.
we have the endpoints.
Yes, just a minute. It is currently pulling the image.
Yes, so that should just take a few moments and then we'll be up and running. And in development environments, it doesn't work like normal deployments because the first time as mistake when using Octeto environment is expecting the application to work automatically. Since
Oh.
Octeto is primarily built, for development, when you are in a development environment, you are the owner of your actions. It is up to you to start your application, to end it. Unlike when you deploy, it automatically starts it. So once the environment is up and running, we'll have to, run it ourselves and see if it works. And that's why it's a development environment, so you can see changes and it's not in production. And the most amazing part, once again, is the public endpoints because it gives you what you see is where you get environment.
Hmm.
I think, could you open your stignal file?
Just a minute. Yeah, it is.
Okay, could you see your once? Can you check your stignal? That's going to be the ignore file for Okteto development environment. I think so. We don't have to synchronize .rasa, which I think is the cache.
Yes, I haven't added actually this particular cache part in the volumes.
Yep. So when you're synchronizing from your local to remote, the .signal file, tells exactly what folder should be synchronized and what should not. So I think we are synchronizing some of these folders and it might be causing the delay. You want to check your .signal file.
Okay, this one. Yeah.
At the top, sure.
I think it has been started and
Let's see
we
if
would
it
access it.
works.
Yeah. Let me first start the Rasa server. We have to start it. But yeah, first we have to train it, correct. Let's see how is the speed for the training.
We're going to compare, local and remote and see which is better.
Yeah. It's quite a small bot, so I think it will be quite fast, but we have to check it for the big ones. So there was a doubt in community, like one person was asking like how many users can it handle. So let's say there are 10,000 users for a particular bot, they are messaging it, so how it will be able to handle them.
I think that depends on maybe where it's hosted. What do you think?
Mm, because let's say in the it's for actually the free version and not the pro version. Okay, because in the community people are trying to use the free version because they are students, so
Mm.
yeah, they are
Also,
asking like, yeah, please.
for the free version, we don't have limits for you maybe checking your endpoints. The only limits that we have in the free version is just the space, and then your application will go to sleep automatically after a day of inactivity. Otherwise, you have virtually the same privileges like pro versions, except that when you're the pro, you do not have to wake your applications after inactivity or worry about space quota and all of that. But irrespective, Octeto is for everyone, basically developers, students. The free plan is enough most times for you to do your work. But when you have large scale applications or you want to get all of these features in our pro plan, it's free. You can always use the free plan. Otherwise, pro plan works for you. You can compare. And if you're using Octo for teams, it is free. Or when you feel you want to go large scale, if you have a company where you're developing maybe a bot using Rasa and it handles about 10,000 users, like, Dishant said, maybe your application has maybe 100 branches. Instead of having to do all of these changes locally, which is stressful, You can speak to us at Okteto and we'll, set up one of these enterprise servers for you.
Yeah. Will there be any need for a load balancer when there is a lot of what you say
Traffic.
users? Yeah, traffic
Well,
actually. Yeah.
I think that depends, but primarily you also handle all of this so you can start, and finish your developments without any issues. That seamless process is what we're always striving for. So Okteto handles that.
Okay. So if there is a lot of traffic, Octeto will automatically handle it itself. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
We want you as a developer to focus on fixing your bug, on working on your feature without having to worry about my development server is going to crash. Nope, we don't want any of those worries.
Great. That's actually great. Yeah.
So I forgot to ask, how did you get to know about Okteto? Do you want to tell us?
Definitely. Actually, I wanted to actually at at a particular workshop I was thinking to showcase the users that how this actually works in the server. So I want to give them a particular link to test it out. So I thought to ask someone from Rasa community. So he told me that you can use Octeto. He had used Octeto. His name is Shavik Ghosh. His Rasa superhero. He suggested me to use Octeto, and that's when I got to know about Octeto and started using it a lot. So that's why.
Cool. It's been trained. Wow, that's amazing.
Mhm. And then right now it has been trained, and we have to just start our server just like we do in a normal terminal. So let's see how it works. It is starting the server, and let me change this to localhost so we are able to get it. 5006. So here we can also see that what all things are happening currently in the dev environment, which we are currently doing here. Correct.
Yep.
That's great. Refresh it. Simple to access. All right, it is up and running, but it won't be able to show this. I think there might be some issue, and it is regarding the credentials. So I said that we'll be coming back here again. So now
Mhm.
at this moment, we'll be changing this live from our desktop to the remote server. Am I correct?
Yep. Yes.
This will all reflect there. So yeah. Here we'll be adding bot a third. If you want to know more about this, you can definitely check the most trending
Mhm.
video in Droid City, which is website integration. So yeah, you can definitely check that. And this has been changed. And now if I close the server and start it again, it will be able to, oh come on, understand it and connect with the web chat.
Ideally, before I found, if you don't have an idea of how remote development works, you have to build the same image again, push it to your registry, then have to maybe do Docker Compose up, which is stressful. But now the changes we've made reflects in our image, in our like container, which is amazing. What do you think?
Definitely, because right now, if I want to change anything and upload it, it really helps me to do it quite easily, because every time if I use GitHub, it first I have to push it, and then I have to redeploy it. When I created that video, I just knew about that, which is just pipeline. And now when I knew about this, like, I was trying a lot. I thought that, is there anything to do while working remotely? So I thought, let me ask the team on Slack channel. So yeah, that's where I got to know about this. So the developer environment. And refresh it. I think it is not able to direct it to the particular server which we had set.
Um, let's confirm.
Okay. How should I?
Could you check localhost to see if it works?
Let me try. Host 5005 6. Oh, 5006 is not working.
Shouldn't
So
it be 5005?
no, actually, in the Okteto YAML, I presented 5006. So yeah,
Ooh,
I
could
think
you
it
check
might
again?
be working with 8080.
Okay, so you have to
Yeah,
see.
just change it to 8080 and quickly we'll do it. Just to 80. Is that true? And currently on my machine, 8080 is occupied with something I don't know about. So yeah, it always throws me an error when I try to run it on 8080 or something. I'll use 8082 now.
I think we have to restart our dev container now that we changed the forward ports. We just need to do Octeto up.
Oh, the doctor top.
Without build, I don't think we have to build again. But let's
Okay,
see. So what's done?
this time
Let's
it
see.
is quite faster because it doesn't have any changes. So yeah,
Exactly. Can you check that
I,
local controls is exposing the right spots?
okay. Where should I check it?
The local compose manifests.
Okay, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see.
I presented. This should work, right?
In your manifest, what do you have?
Oh wait,
Let's see.
this won't work while it is deployed. I have to, okay. Just a minute.
So we can do that again.
Yeah, we do have time, right?
Yep. We have a few minutes.
Oh, read quite fast. If anybody has doubt or anybody hasn't tweeted yet, do it fast if you really want swag and get contacted by Okteto. The time went quite faster while coding and deploying it.
Yep.
Didn't
I
even
think I
think about
went.
anything.
A live stream once is interesting. Time runs off.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't hear like it was already 1 hour. See, it would be really good if we have a part two of it.
Well, we can always do that. But let's finish this and see how it works. Pretty sure the
Sure.
viewers are excited as well. So we're gonna have okay. So I think it's very interesting to see how the build time, is shorter when you have just little changes compared to when you're starting out. I think it's also very cool if you ask me, because having to rebuild everything at once is time taking.
Yeah, and also one more thing, um, whenever we are going to build this or we want to use it as a project for as a student, because in the final year whenever we like to do it, we need a server, because teachers are like, it is on a local system, how it will work on the server. So this way they can use it on the using Okteto, because it's obviously a free of cost, and
Exactly.
it has quite a lot of things, like you can we can have a 5 namespace, and also have around 5 GB. Am
Yep.
I right? Yeah, 5
Yes,
GB. That's a lot. That's a
I think
lot
the
for a
amazing thing
Rasa bot.
is, even when you're doing your demonstration, you can easily chip in changes if there's a bug or anything, so you don't have to panic, which is amazing for projects. I think it's a very good use case if you're a student. You should use Okteto because it gives you voices where you get, most especially the development environment is particularly very useful for hot fixes, hot changes, and for demonstrations. So you don't have to mess up your production while making a change.
Yeah, obviously they also know when they are going to go into any industry, they will already have a knowledge like how they will be deploying anything on the server like that. So that will really help them.
Yep. Okay. So I think our application is up and running. So let's
Yeah,
see.
that
Ah,
was about that was about that.
cool.
Let's see. Let's say hi. I want support team connect, contact a gibberish in English. Yeah, it is able to answer it. Right.
So what if we want to add a few more intents? Is it possible to do this in our development environment?
Definitely, but just to make sure, we have to um, train it again and run it. So that's how
Hmm?
it works.
I
We'll
think it would
have
be
to
nice to
train
see
it.
how to retrain. Maybe if it works, what do you think? We could easily chip in one or two intents, maybe to greet the viewers. Do you mind maybe sharing how we can do that so we can say okay
Sure.
right.
So yeah. So let's say if I want to change this particular response,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll change it. Hey, welcome to Okteto live stream. We are learning about Rasa Chatbot deploying on Okteto. And then just after that, I'll have to close the server. I have to add this again. That to because it is currently in the image. So I'll have to do Okteto build. Okay. Don't panic, this isn't any kind of error.
Wait, before doing a build, could we just try Rasa um drawing again? I don't think we have to build since we are synchronizing all of this. Or what do you think? Let's see.
Let's see. It will tell me that it is going to train core model if it has been changed.
Hmm. That's why it's in development. We can see all these changes before moving into production.
Yeah. And also you can definitely do ls or to cat, but it I think it hasn't been changed, so we have to do Okteto build.
Hmm.
And if you want to deploy this directly on the server, we will have to do Okteto up, correct? Okteto up
Oh,
or
to
Okteto
deploy
stack
to
deploy.
just exactly. We're going to
Yeah,
do a deployment so anyone can try it out in their free time. But for now, let's see how to retrain.
okay. As you can see, it has added this particular file right here, and it is starting to synchronize everything. And yes, now we will train it. Oops, I got quite excited. Do we have any kind of cheat sheet available for people who are just beginning to start Octeto? Do we have it?
Yes, we've been working to revamp our quick started guide, quick start guide rather, and then we are also planning on short videos to quickly onboard new users. And our Slack is always welcoming. You can always like interact with us on Slack and on Twitter. And we have a couple of videos on YouTube where we've talked about a couple of our features and how we can use them and how new users can also find some of our features amazing.
That's great. Um, could you please share me the link to the YouTube, or
Sure.
I'll just search it. I'll just search it. That's it. Oh, here it is. It is live.
So when you go to
This way,
playlists,
this way you can
yes,
subscribe.
it's I turn on the bell so you get notified whenever there are new videos. It's really important.
Definitely.
So when you
This
go
way
to our
you have to
playlists,
subscribe all the channels which is present in YouTube, even Droid City.
yep, very important. Yeah, so you're saying the server is almost up once again?
Yes, almost like it is just going to start. Yeah, it has started. Let's see. Yep. Let me say hi. And here it is. You can try it out. Let me share the link to the people who want to try it out. So
Just
now we are
send.
going to push it. Okay. Oh, it is not able to close this. It has stopped. Okay, now it is closed. And that exit, just checking everything is there properly. Yeah. So now let me open a new terminal so it runs smoother and faster. And I have to do Octeto up and then I have to do the stack deployment. Am I right?
If you do want to deploy, create a deployment, use Auto Stack deploy.
Okay. Double dash build.
Yep. Could you check
Cannot
your
find.
manifest?
Sure.
Nope. Never compose. You might have an error.
Just a minute. Is there anything I'm missing?
Hmm. Line 7, line 8.
Let me remove this. I don't need this. Let me compare it with my previous ones. Dot actions. Okay, this shouldn't have space. Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
And here I have to provide inverted comma. There is quite a lot of things.
Yep. And that's another feature when you're trying to deploy an Okteto, we map out these issues before moving. Because the development mode is worked, but in production, this might get flagged by CI server or the like. So we make sure,
Yeah.
okay, fix this before moving on to deployment.
Yeah, see, now it is working. You can find all of these things on my GitHub, which is, let me share it in the comment section below. There's a gist I have created for this particular purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
it will be really helpful for the people who are trying to create this kind of bots.
But yep.
Yeah, let me share it in the comment section.
So all this is deployed. I can also like, maybe create a web interface. Is your endpoints that works?
Sure. And also, how can I share it in the comment section?
Okay, we're going to do that for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. If we can add it in the comment section, it will be really good
Yep.
because just a copy paste. Okay. So I think it has been deployed. So let me check on my Okteto server. Okay, it is. Oops.
You can see the
Yeah,
states.
it is pulling it. But the actions will be quite faster than Rasa because action is just a Python code. So yeah.
Rasa has to throw and throw and provide all of this.
Hmm. It has started Rasa, so but it is. Are you guys using? Okay, yeah. Also using chatbots.
Yep. So who knows, we might maybe try to build our own Rasa chatbot since we've learned how to do that.
Sure, I could help you guys. So right here, action endpoint has been started. Just Rasa is remaining because it is currently training it. And I'm thinking I'm not getting a link.
For your application.
I got the link for actions, but I didn't got the link for Rasa. I think
I
I
think
missed something. Yes, it is
public.
public, right? Yeah.
Yes. So all you need to do now is just auto stack deploy without the build. You don't have to build
Without
again.
build.
Yep.
Do I have
That
to
should
build
work.
again?
No, you don't. Let's see. So deploy. That should be much more faster.
Yeah. Oops. Again, mistake. Sorry about that.
So that's why I want dev environments. We can see all of these mistakes. Might be costly in production.
And if you are adding this inside the Docker Compose, just to keep in mind that PyCharm will definitely be showing you as this as an error because this is not the part of Docker Compose, but this is part of Okteto. So don't delete this because your URL won't be shown here. So yeah, there was one doubt in the community that that guy deleted this particular part and he was asking like
Yes.
why it is not working.
I think I took that some days back. Well, I think last month.
Yeah, now it will start booting and here
Now
we
we
have.
have our endpoints.
Okay, because it is currently training it.
Exactly.
Mhm. So people can what different type of deployment or name, what do you say, I forgot the word. um, Server they can create, like there is stack, there is pipeline, which in my case is there
So
pipeline
from
from
Git,
GitHub. Yeah.
when you deploy from Git, you have a pipeline. You can also deploy directly from Git or connect to your GitHub repository to Okteto, so you can easily deploy in one click.
Okay, that's great. So by default, when we do it from GitHub, so it picks as it as pipeline, right?
Yes,
Or we can, if we use it from Kubernetes or Helm charts, it uses as a pipeline.
exactly.
Okay.
But
So
when you
whenever
use a
you're,
Helm
yeah,
chart, when you use a Helm chart, it shows you that it's a Helm chart. When you use a Kubernetes manifest, it shows you that it's either a deployment, if your manifest indicates it's a deployment, or a stateful set, or a persistent volume, depending on what you are deploying.
wow, that's great. So whenever I'm doing Docker Compose or Docker, at that time it is a stack, and other time it will be pipeline or etc. versions it will be showing us. Okay, it is starting. Okay, that's great to hear. Okay, let's see if it shows. Yeah, so here it is. The server is up and running. So now I can share with the people in the chat section. Please share this link. They can test it out in their own HTML files or anywhere they want. And also changing right here to test the bot if it is working or not. Okay, it is working, and let's say hi. And the latest message is here. I want to talk with support team. Yeah, they'll contact me soon, but how they will contact me, I don't know. Yeah. So this was the part where we are going to understand how we deployed it on Okteto server. You can definitely use the dev server for further use. You can definitely use it by doing Okteto up double dash build if you want to build something that you have changed here, and then
So you can short, now that you have a deployment, you can create a development environment directly from one of your deployments. So if you run Okteto up now, it asks if you want to develop an existing deployment, which in this case, Dishant has deployed. Otherwise, if you want maybe something standalone, you could use the double dash build. So if like Dishant said, if you want to develop, you run Okteto up. So if you run it now, you're going to be asked from what deployment you want to make changes from.
okay. So also, and you can use the extension which is present in here, which is just a minute. What was the name? It was Kubernetes Okteto. I think it was like this. Am I right?
Yep.
Right here, yeah, this was the one, remote Kubernetes. So you can install this in Visual Studio Code, and this will help you to use your developer environment and change all the things directly from the VS Code. And if you have all those things in local, you can definitely change it from the local, and it will be updated and synchronized on the dev server. So yeah,
Yep.
you don't have to you don't even need that particular extension, am I right, when they are doing it? Okay. Yeah, I think that's it here. Does anybody have questions in the comment section?
Well, I think if nobody has questions, we'll be rounding up. It's amazing. And can you share the link to one? I think you shared it. I want to ask for the link. Yes, okay. So we have
Yeah.
this in the comment section. So I can also like decide to create an interactive bot using the train model we have. What do you think?
Yes, so let's try. Do we want to try it right now?
Nope, I think you've done that, which is very good. And if I think to the viewers, if you tried to build maybe an interactive bot, you could reach out to Okteto or Dishant or in Slack, and might have some swag for you. Maybe it's who knows if you try,
Mhm.
which is amazing. Thank you very much, Dishant, for coming on to teach us about how to create chatbots. I
Yeah.
also have mine, which I'm running currently on my end.
Wow, that's great.
It's just a little interaction from yours. Give me a minute. I'm going to try to share my screen. Although this is also powered by Okteto.
Okay, let's see what it is.
Let's see. Give me a moment. Okay, so we have this. Will be I think everyone can. Let's see fine. Trying to change this to the link we have, which is Rasa. Let's see. Okay, we're going to try this. And now we have one, two, three.
I think your screen isn't visible if you're showing something.
Oh, well, give me a moment. It's going to be okay. So I'm going to share my screen and we can see how this works. Okay. Don't know, is this visible?
Yes, it is visible. It's this.
You can see my reloading and
Yeah.
I can also connect, which is amazing. So if I was a QA tester, I could also have this on my end. I can say I
Yeah, it is able to answer what it was able to answer me, and everybody can use it. You can
actually can
use
I
this
can say
link, it will be on, I think so, until and
yes, it's
unless
you.
I don't delete the namespace. Yeah.
Also, it's very amazing. So, I was expecting you also viewing, to check how can you use this. Is it possible for you to do this? We have a blog post is in all in the description. We have Dishant's channel. We have a, make sure to subscribe and like our channel on Dishant's channel. Who knows, there might be a part two of this on Dishant's channel into the future. So thank you very much, Dishant, for coming over.
Thank you so much.
It's
There are
been
too many
listening.
videos coming about this deployment too.
Lovely. So, it's amazing. And once again, Okteto is mainly for development, for students and for professionals and for companies. If you have any issues or encounter any issues, you could also reach out to me, myself, on in Slack, to Dishant, and everyone in the community. Just tag us. You can use hashtag Okteto. It's monitored. And thank you. Join us on the community call. I think there's a community call by 20th. Subscribe to our Luma events page and on YouTube so you don't get to miss any of these events. And there's a surprise at the end of the month. Who knows when and we will announce that. So we advise you follow us on our social media, like our videos, watch videos, give us your honest reviews and comments. You could also follow us on Twitter, like our channel once again, and give us a star on GitHub. We're trying to reach 2,000 stars. It's a bet, but let's see who's going to win. And that's our Twitter handle on screen, twitter.com/OktetoHQ. On LinkedIn too, so you can follow for more news, information, and everything. Do have the beautiful thing about Okteto is we span across so many time zones. So Dishant's in India and it's pretty late. So go say good night, Dishant. It's pretty late in my end.
Thank you so
So go
much.
say and
And
to
if you could,
everyone. Yes,
just a
Dishant.
minute, I'd like to ask if you could share your Slack community link, it would be really great. Like they can directly contact there and like that.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to have that on the screen in a minute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
great.
So it's connected to our Slack. We're on the Kubernetes Slack and we have our channel, Okteto. We're always ready to help. Once you have questions, queries, you can always ask the members of the community and the engineers. We're all available to help you. So thank you very much for joining once again. We hope you are developing your own Rasa bots on Okteto. I want to see how you do
Definitely.
this. What bots do you create? Is it something amazing? We'd like to showcase it. And if you've been watching up to the end, we'd like you to get in touch with us via our Twitter handle so you can send me some. Thank you very much, Dishant.
Thank you
To
so
everybody
much.
else, to have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning. Bye. Thanks.
Bye bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.